Watch the level. Yeah. Kaply, watch the video about audio. I'm watching.
I'm out at the end of my ribbon table. This screen's drier than bowl and we're sipping peanut butter popcorn. Sorry, girl.
I just don't understand the sheriff. He only lets me put up one dumpster at a time. I need more space.
Step right up, listen to me, friends. With this single, delectable little diskette, your best get-rid-of problems are a thing of the past. It's a brand new, improved, all-natural, biodegradable, easy-to-take CSD. Yes, sir.
I could surely use some new tools, mister. Well, now, I'd oblige you, but some of my tools that's run off, joined up with the Doss brothers. If the sheriff lets me expand, I promise you all the new fangled tools you can use.
Trouble is stop. Doss brothers are trying to stop. Send hell, chop, chop, stop. Wop, bop, wop, wop, and soon. Stop.
You ain't much welcome here. I ain't sure about your apps there, but we both know wind's about as welcome as a...
Yes, sir.
Them's our fighting words. Takes them a while to boot up. Boys, this town ain't big enough for the both of us to get on a show. How did I tell you, boys? I got power and speed I ain't even used yet.
That'll look real pretty on your tombstone.
Okay. You want it, boys?
You already released 6 of that.
That's the story, sad but true. Behind the showdown of the last two, be 103. Couldn't really run when you see. And on all the applications of dogs, needed more on his own to be the law. Well, howdy, all you hackers and computers, land your interface with the music just to stay with the band. Boot up to the bar and get your monitor lit. Back roll over to the bar, shake and make a bit, oh baby. Then let's do what I say. Look out! Oh, there's a new day, couple big changes are on the way.
I don't like that song.
Play, do not delete me, oh my darling. No, how about I put my old feet outside?
Well, you must know. Oh, they're micro cheapers.
Why do you guys want to hear the same old tired tunes all the time anyway?
But if you live first, spinning around just like the new box last gonna be there. Gonna clean up any little fingers and me. Got a great big bag, says OS2B 2.0. Then let's do what I say. Well, oh yeah! Well, there's a new
Right stuff around here?
No, just like partner. I sure could use your help around here. Well, how about go tell it on my mainframe? No, don't know that one neither.
Well, if it ain't a new virgin, come to clean up our humble little town.
Howdy, boys.
Look, Marshal, if you stay out of our way, there won't be no trouble.
Now, boys, I ain't here to fight with you. I'm here to work with you.
And what if we don't want to work with you?
Well, then, I reckon I'm going to have to teach you boys some manners.
I'm always good at text silence, yeah, every word was raw. Pete described it, but all the time to be the first to draw. And it was when that finder said,
Something out here weird along.
the marshal didn't pledge an inch, just stood his ground and smiled, and waited for the next attempt to get his temper riled. No matter what they tried, he knew inside he could handle this problem child. Suddenly, with a spitting rage straight from the fires of hell, all three stepped up with eyes ablaze like demons in a spell, and lifted up their keys to play. But only silence fell. Everybody stood around, their mouths agape with shock. The brothers three had no idea what caused their boards to lock. Only OS2 knew, but he wasn't quite ready to say. Because boys and girls, the time had come for OS2 to play. Then all three fell on one knee and weep with disbelief. Let this world please stop again and give us some relief. But OS2 was just hitting stride, had power for the asking. He clothed himself not once but twice with a thing called tasking. Hell was surely waiting, but to their surprise, not their demise, but their cooperation is what the Marshall City wanted. And to let the power flow, and a miracle of music came, and the five of them let go. OS2 big 2.0, running off that hand windows. 13 is hot development, they behind them 100%. OS2 big 2.0. It's better don't you know? Better windows than windows. OS2 of tomorrow. OS2 big 2.0. I run the biggest mainframe to the tiniest ship. There was celebrating this amazing fellowship. And I danced you join the party soon as you reach you. What the brand new OS2 that you can do for you, oh baby. Let's do what I say. I'll get there's a new day coming, big changes are on your way.
We're taking to my flagging drive. Current time are not catching the danger of this. It's gold. Things are sure going to be different around here.
Now we realize that was a little bit dated, but we wanted to just kind of set the tone here before we get into our Q&A. Thought that summed it up pretty well. Those guys I was involved with for a long time.
Come use the mic.
I learned the fact that I have that video to draw and say that it's been around a while. We both have been working on the Netscape project for quite a while. I've been on, I can't decide what the other side is the real estate.
I'd like to play this one for loud singing.
Come on, that's what it looks like.
Thank you very much. We've both been working on OS2 for quite a while. I'm Mike Kaply. I'm Jeff Kobal, and I'm the technical lead for the Netscape Communicator projects and have been since 404.
And I'm the OS2 porting lead since also 404. My background goes back to the 2.0 days when I started working on Presentation Manager. I'm still the owner of Presentation Manager for OS2, and I joined the Netscape team to help them out after an experience also on Open32 and things like that, for porting applications from Windows to OS2.
I've been involved with OS2 since 1989 as a co-op with IBM. I've worked on since version 1.1, and I worked on the help system in OS2 and tutorials, and I've been with the Netscape project since it started with version 202. So that's our background. And what we kind of wanted to do here, basically, was give you guys an opportunity to ask us any questions you wanted to ask. We didn't really want to do a demo because I usually mix it. How many people here have used 461? See, so a demo is really not, you know, the way to go. How many people still use 202? All right, the door.
How many use Web
We're
Explorer?
closer this time. We got a lot closer than we did last time. We've still got a couple more things that you'll see in a service refresh that should bring it even closer to 202. But I don't know. I go back to using 202 every now and then when I'm in an emergency situation. I can't use it at all because I'm so used to the things like the tab key working in 461. So like, I don't know how you guys suffer through it, but yeah, the drag and drop might make it worth it, I guess. So, but on the speed issue, there's kind of the first question. Let's talk about the speed issue. There's one big difference between 202 and the 4X line that a lot of people don't know about, which kind of makes 202 faster by default. And that is that 202 didn't support the ability to change fonts on a web page. So the problem is that you go to a web page and they set up, you know, that they want Arial for this and all these different fonts on their web page. And 404 is a little bit slower because it's going to use the fonts to render everything on that page. Whereas 202 is always going to use TMSRNN no matter what the page is on. So if you want your 461 or 404 to be a little faster, one of the things you can do is you can go to Preferences, and you go to Fonts. And what you can do is you can change this to say, use my default font, ignoring override the document specified font. What you'll lose there is you'll lose the fact that some pages have done some custom fonts to make themselves look pretty. But what you'll gain is the fact that whenever a page specifies a customized font, you won't use it. So something like an Arial font, which is a true type font, which is going to be a little bit slower than TMSRNN, you won't use that. So that's the way that if you're not interested in the prettiness all over the web, then you can use that to speed up 461 and 404 a little bit. The question was, with this particular preference, do you need to close the browser and start it back up to see that change? And the answer is no. There are some preferences that require that, but most don't. Typically, what will happen is when you click on OK in the preferences, you'll actually see the page that you're on refresh. And if you don't, then you can click the reload button, and usually it'll switch to using the preference that you specified. There are very few things that require restarting the browser. Something like switching from IMAP to a POP server, I believe, requires restarting the browser. I think that's the only one I can think of off the top of my head that requires restarting the browser. So, in the back. Oh, hold on one second. Do we want to use the mic up here for questions? Yeah. Okay. So when you guys want to have a question, let's step up the mic so I don't have to repeat it for the internet audience.
The fonts don't really, the dynamic fonts don't really work very well. There are so many pages that this is a problem with. For example, I think there's a news page, search results and all that. They're pretty bad with dynamic fonts. There are lots of pages where some of the fonts get very, very small, you can barely see them. The same with that communicate on Windows works fine on these pages.
That might be the Courier input. That's what it sounds like. Are you aware of that problem?
Yeah, I'm aware of that. I don't know if that's the problem.
Is the case? I mean, is it a case where like an entry field display is very small, or
no? It's the text. I don't know if it's connected to that.
now is the Ethernet LAN up in this room?
Yes.
Okay. But anyway, we can share this real quick.
No, not where you are, Mike.
Back here.
The effective answer to your
Never
question
mind.
is no.
Somebody got a really long Ethernet field? All right.
Yeah.
What we can do is I can connect up to the network back at the in the exhibition hall, and we can take a look at that problem and see if we can figure out what's going on. The one thing I'll say is that fonts on OS2 and Windows are different, big time. And what you'll find is that most of the time when you see a difference in the way a page looks on Windows and the way a page looks on OS2, it can usually be traced to the fact that the font rendering on OS2 leaves quite a bit to be desired. So, but we can certainly take a look at that afterwards and see if we can figure out the problem.
Another question. Java security. I think we were exchanging mail with you and the people in the state, and I just wanted to find out what the latest is on this. Asset security is what I'm concerned about. Because, right, the sign tool, none of the signing tools of Netscape supported to OS2. But I developed applications, Java applications on OS2, and it's a major pain. Right now, I'm running on the machine on Windows. I can just take the job when I have it signed up on Windows. I've been able to have that machine. So I want to develop just on OS2. I just can't do it right now. Also, when are we going to go with JDK 1.1.8 on OS2 already has Java 2 security. And what are you planning to do with that? I understand that Netscape is eventually moving towards some signing model. When is that going to happen? And what about signing tools for OS2?
I know the answer. I was thinking about this.
Okay. The short answer is what you said about doing your signing on Windows is correct. Unfortunately, we couldn't get the Java tool supported, the Java signing tool supported OS2. So whenever anybody asks us, what about signing? The answer is take the apples over to Windows, sign them using the Netscape signing tools, and then use them on OS2. Unfortunately, at this point in time, we don't have a better way to do that. But the second part of your question is correct, that what's happening, though, is that Netscape is switching to using the Sun security model in the Java 2 implementation rather than the Netscape security model. So what you'll see over time, I'm sure you guys have heard about this Java plugin that's being worked on browsers. That's going to be the way to do Java 2. Well, that plugin is being worked on OS2 just like it's being worked on any other platforms. So when the Java 2 security model is available using that plugin, then that would be how the security model is handled on OS2 as well. So you shouldn't run into as many difficulties with the signing because we'll be using that plugin and the Java 2 security model on all. Will is not me representing Netscape. Again, we forgot to say this at the beginning. Both work for IBM, and I think most people know that, but we just want to reiterate as many times as possible. We're IBM employees, and we never, ever, ever speak for Netscape. So when I say we, I mean IBM. Anyway, and then you'll be able to use the Java security model across all your browsers. So that's the answer. And then the plugin will also work on Internet Explorer, so you'd even be able to use that security model with your Internet Explorer as well.
Yeah, that's good because we are almost on OS2 at least. We're almost already there as far as using a plugin. And you see that thing is using the JDK 1.1.8.
The work that we did to integrate Java with the browser actually goes a little bit beyond what the plugin can do. So the reality is that using a plugin is actually going to put some limitations in that aren't there in the native OS2 implementation. Exactly. But that's simply because of the way the plugin is designed. You don't have full access to Live Connect, and also you have to change all your interfaces to the way that you do Live Connect. So there'll be some differences there. We're pretty happy with the way that we did our Java implementation, and we actually tried to get other companies to adopt it, but they wanted to go with the plugin model, so that's what they chose to do.
Yeah, I think that the Java implementation of Netscape is excellent. It's much better than the Windows.
Thanks.
I think you guys did a good job there. It's just a security problem because I can't even use signed applets on Netscape right now. Even if I sign it on Windows, it doesn't work on Netscape for OS2. Communicate for OS2.
I would want more information on that because that should work.
Not Netscape signing on.
Okay. Well, the answer to that is if you want it to work on OS2, if you sign it with Java signing, if you put it in your class path, if it's in a directory that's in your class path, it will work. So if you had a necessity to run a JDK signed applet, put it in your class path and you should be able to run it.
But that doesn't work for...
That's correct. What you would do is tell your user to download the jar file and put it in their class path. That's assuming they trust you, going back to Peter Kaply's presentation this morning. You go, yeah. Sorry, Mike. Oh, I know it's just a little one. Wait, when is that going to be? I can't. The answer is you'd have to check someone's website to see what their time frame is for the OJ plugin. I can't do any scheduling commitments. All I can say is, Netscape is working toward a Netscape 5.0 delivery on their Windows platform, so the schedule should be consistent with that, but that's about all I can say.
So this is something that's being done by Sun and Netscape, not by you?
The plugin on OS2? No, we're doing work with Sun to do the plugin on OS2, but the ship dates will be consistent with Sun's shipping, not with any IBM schedule. When Sun ships the plugin on other platforms, it'll also be available on OS2. Won't be a work that IBM did.
So the next version of it, yeah. Excellent.
Okay.
Just a small point, the market element is obviously the current JDK doesn't install the fast content for the basic rate. So you've got to make sure that you are using Netscape's own fast setup rather than going back to the
Yeah, that's correct. In this case, what you actually need to do if you want to have use the JDK sign model is add the class, make sure the class statement is in your config.sys, and actually put it in the system class tab. I'm not talking about changing Netscape to have that in Netscape class tab. I'm talking about the fact that it's signed JDK thing needs to be in your genuine system class tab, and then Netscape will use that, and will be able to use signed stuff from that class. I honestly don't know why they did that, but they moved it so that the class so now only gets updated when you install the toolkit. It doesn't get updated when you install just the base, because they felt that the class didn't necessarily need to be there. That's kind of what their attitude was. So why bother putting it in there in order for it not to be used? But some people don't like their config.sys update though. Okay. Questions for the microphone? Well, the question is not for the microphone, obviously. The question is for us. If you'd like to ask a question as well, questions for Mike.